Really do. Well, it's 1 o'clock, and I'm going to see if anybody's interested in seeing what I have dug out of the ground this past week or so. So, trying out my iPad to do this, and then I know I can zoom in, but can't zoom out much. Pull this back a little bit and do that. Oh, here, let me do this. Camera, action. And that's too far. Hey, pigeon. I'm trying to adjust my iPad here to where it gives a good representation of what I'm doing. So, how do I see my chat all the time? Oh, cool. That's cool. I'm after the watch hours, you know. That's what I'm doing this for. So, if you are able to make it part of the time, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's just the best of the stuff. Here, I'll show you. This is the treasure trash, right? That's from the parks that I did on Thursday and Friday last week, and that's from the beach that I did on Monday, and this is the best of the finds from the park, the beach, and the park yesterday that I just went to for an hour or so. So I'm going to tell everybody about that, and see if I can. This is going to be a little bit of a pain with an iPad. I'm not used to having. Well, you know what? I think I just leave it like that. That's better. Yeah, the tent stakes. I dug 29 on Monday when I went to the beach, and I found a pile that some other detector dumped out on the beach. So I picked them up, and there were 14 there. So I've got 43 tent stakes there. Some of them are in good shape. Some of them are all gone. Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yeah, this was a surface find. This little guy, and I looked him up, and he's from Toy Story. Little robot guy. I like surface finds as well as the metal detector digs. They're, you know, people drop and just leave them. They leave stuff around. I think a lot of them are by mistake, but some of them I think they just don't care. Yeah, I have about 600 tent stakes that I've found in the parks and on the beach since I started a year ago about this time, and so I've got a big tub full of tent stakes out there in my backyard, trying to figure out something to do with them. Hi, Character Alley. How do I get my chat at? Live chat. There we go. And not top chat. Okay, that's okay. I'll be around talking. I'll be able to see everybody. But I really appreciated you helping me on Saturday. I mean on Monday, not on Saturday. On Monday, you did a great job keeping people informed. And when I was just doing my own thing out there and you were helping out, it was much appreciated. Anyway, down on the beach, there was another detector, and he came up close to me, but he turned around and left, and I went over to where he was digging, and I found something he missed. And this is an earring, and I thought it was just junk, but it's pretty much costume jewelry. It's 10 karat gold plated, and but it was a pretty good find to know that, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, somebody's already been there. Well, that doesn't mean anything. This was about 2 feet from one of his digs. So I thought that was neat. Guess I'll be talking a lot, and you went to the park today early in the morning. It was dark out testing them. Manicore, cool, Pigeon. You got a Manicore? Well, you know what? I'm really liking my Legend. I don't see the need right now of buying a really expensive. I mean, look at all this stuff I got. I think I get everything. If it's there and I swing over it, I get it. So, yeah, I've got a little bit of stuff here. Yesterday, we went over to a local park, and I found this, which is Killer Dolls, or no, not Killer Dolls, Dolls Kill. It's a gothic necklace, and it's dark waves, and this is pretty cool. It's got a wave in it. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it there, right? You can see the wave in the. So I think this is going to be easier than my phone using the iPad here. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And I found my ring number 14 here. It looks weird. It looks like a nut, but it's a ring. It's number 14 for the year. So, and 4 of those rings are silver. No gold yet, but I got a lot of junk, and then a couple of these, like stainless steel rings, anodized. So that was kind of cool yesterday, just to go over to the local park and find jewelry. And I go to that park all the time because every weekend there's a bunch of people there. Yeah, the computer boards, a lot of people do that. Was thinking about that myself. There's a lot of gold in computers and phones. My table might move a little bit, sway when I hit it because it's kind of loosey-goosey. Hope you don't get seasick. Yeah, I think that's a good feature about the Manicore. But you know what? I started out with a Goldmaster, a White's Goldmaster, and it didn't have any vid screen on it or anything. I'm still having a problem keeping my eye on the vid screen. You know, I didn't start out that way, so it's not something that I have a habit of. I've even had the Legend since last August, but still the vid screen kind of. I listen to the tones and I dig everything. So it doesn't matter to me if I had a vid screen and it showed me that something was undescribable blob. I'd still dig it. I dig anything and everything. One thing bothers me about the advertising, though, and I guess it's bothering a lot of people about the Manicores, that they put so much emphasis on it being more powerful, and there's a power limit on all devices, and you can only put so much power out, and so makes people wonder how they're trying to make people believe that it's more powerful. But it can always be better. That's a true statement, but it can always be the same too. So all the machines nowadays are hey, Danny boy, thanks for coming. We're just going over kind of a wrap up of what I've done since a week ago tomorrow. I went to two different parks, Thursday and Friday, and then I went to the beach on Monday, and then another park yesterday, a local park close to me. And just going over all the stuff that I found. And I'll give you a show since you just came in. Yeah, Pigeon, that's what they say, but I don't know how you can. I think Equinox is topped out. I think so might the Manicore. But here you go, Danny boy. This treasure trash that I found in the parks on Thursday and Friday, and the treasure trash I found at the beach on Monday, and then here's the treasures, or if you can call them treasures. Found some pretty good stuff though. The last time in the parks, I found these little things here. These are cool. They're teeny, but this is a little Saint Benedict's medal that I found, and it's got a picture. It's kind of resined onto it. It's got a bubble of resin over the top of it. And I found this. I showed these on my shorts, and so I found this little four-leaf clover part four-leaf clover. I was hoping it was going to bring me good luck, but I don't think I can get much better luck than I have. So then I found this little piece of jewelry. I don't know what it is, but it at least had two stones in it at one time here, and it's a piece of jewelry, and I don't know exactly what it could be. No, it's not silver. I wish it was. But I've been getting quite a bit of silver lately. Now we've got some gold. This was a surface find. Getting around to it goes with me, and she found this at the beach, and she's got an eagle eye. I know Looter 8 calls his son Tyler Hawkeye, but getting around to it's got an eagle eye. That's the E for eagle eye. It's got 11 diamonds in it, and it's 14 karat gold. And it's tested out, and it says 14 karat right there. Come on, focus. There you go. So oh yeah, the diamonds tested real. They're just little chips. You know, they're like 1/100th of a carat or something like that. But then at the beach, I found this 10 karat gold plated earring that is pretty good and hefty, but it's not solid gold, just gold plated. Found it 2 feet from a guy's dig. He was down there digging. And I just showed this to Pigeon a minute ago. This is a Doll's Kill Gothic necklace, and it's a dark wave. And if I can get it just right, you can see the wave in it. It's got a little wave, maybe. Yeah, you can see it that better that way. But that was in the park yesterday, and I got my 14th ring yesterday, and then lots of good stuff. I like this oyster shell. Oyster shell that I got at the beach. You don't see very many oyster shells up on the beach, but got that. One of my best beach finds was a lead lure. This thing's solid lead. That was pretty cool. Got lots of change. And I got over 50 Zinkins, and just at the parks. This is all the change from the parks on Thursday and Friday. I got a little over $4 there, and then I got some at the beach. I got about 10 or 11 Zinkins, 1 copper, and 2 nickels, 4 dimes, and $1.50 in quarters at the beach. That's true. It's spoiling them. And they'll find out sooner or later, Danny. No, it's not silver. It's just just some kind of pot metal. I think they sell them for about 11 or 12 bucks for that pendant. This is kind of a bummer. I'm having to tap the thing all the time to see what you guys are saying. Can't get my chat to stay up so I can see. I don't want to hide all the chat messages. Okay. Yeah, 1 week. Last Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. But since I dig every signal, I dig a lot of treasure trash. My treasure trash is everybody else's trash. I wasn't expecting this local park that I go to is just not even a whole city block from my house, and I go there all the time, and I wasn't really expecting to find 2 pieces of jewelry, but I did. That was cool. Got a lot of other stuff too. I don't have that junk out here because I just got it out. I probably got about 20 bottle caps and some pull tabs and things. Yeah, if you go to the sports field, I found that Gucci bracelet, Danny Boy. I found that in the batter's up circle by the home plate in a baseball diamond. So definitely hit the sports fields because that's where people lose their jewelry, playing sports, running around, throwing balls and stuff. I found gold rings at ball diamonds. Found gold bracelets, ID bracelets at ball diamonds and soccer fields. I really do pretty good for myself at the sports fields. The sports parks are one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to where now that I'm the age I am, I don't have to worry about whether it's a weekend or a weekday. Weekdays are better because less people are in the parks and stuff where I go. Oh, that's too bad they're heavy hit. I don't have too many detectorists around me here. I've met a couple and I've crossed paths with a couple, but mostly I find myself alone when I'm digging, which isn't too bad. There's a couple parks that I go to that there's always the same detectorists there. Yeah, well, I'm one of those new detectorists. I've only been doing this for a year. I had my first metal detector I bought back in '94. That I had that White's, used it for prospecting a little bit, and then I had my medical problems, and that all ended. Now I'm back at it, and I'm having a Class A blast. Uh, Maybe I'm having too much fun doing it, but I mean, I get excited over a chunk of aluminum. You know, you go to the beach and they make fires, and you get chunks of aluminum like this, and they sound really good. And then it still makes me happy that I got it. So, wow, dang, 11 years. You should have a pile of stuff. I've got so much stuff around here, I have to get rid of it. I've made two trips to the scrap yard already to get rid of stuff, and I still have tons of stuff. That Veterans Parks would be good. I found some pretty good stuff in the Veterans Park over a Memorial Park. Not too far from me. And I found a lot of change there. And last year I didn't do too bad. I got 68 rings last year from this time, you know, around it now February of last year until December, and then I started recounting on January 1st, and now I'm up to 14 this year. Wow. I've gotten well over $100 in clad. I've got probably I've rolled $95 worth and turned it in, and then, but I didn't really start getting clad as much until I got my legend. With, for some reason, I went over the same ground that I went over with my whites, and the clad was just sounding like a chirp, you know, just a like that. And my whites detector, when I got the legend, and I started pulling clad everywhere, and especially over the same area at the soccer field that I had gone over and thought that I'd gotten all the clad. I went over and got another $20 out of there. It seems like, but I've got a lot of clad that I have to roll up from this year, and as you see, I get a lot of Zinkins, lots and lots of Zinkins. I probably have already rolled up $3 or $4 worth of Zinkins, and got a jar full now to tumble and get the crud off of. So now we've gotten into the coins and stuff, looking at coins. Now instead of rolling them right up, I'm looking at the ones that are in the best shape. I'm going to hold them aside and look at them and see if there's anything that's worth anything. No, there's where I got, there's a lot of detectors that go to this one park, these two parks where I got all this trash here and everything, and then all of this. But they don't go in every area. They stick. There's a couple of them that just want to do the beach area or the in the water in the summertime. They want to go in the lake. Excuse me. Hey, Tonka, welcome. And then there's there's one detector that he goes out to the same park that I go to, and but he just scratches the surface. He's got a bad back, so he doesn't get down and dig for anything. Oh, hydrogen peroxide? Yeah, that works. I've used that before. The zinc pennies, I don't really care about. Uh, they, you know, it doesn't ruin them to take this crud off of them. You see this crud all over these things right here. That doesn't come off real easy. And some of them look pretty clean and they're okay, but then there's some of them that are really bad, like this. So it takes a little more to get the junk off of those. So the tumbler works really well. And I've got a fine abrasive stone in the tumbler, so it mainly just knocks off the crud. It doesn't mar up the metal at all. And yeah, but you know, if it's a real coin that might be worth something, you don't want to clean it anyway. I think that's what the coin collectors say. Don't clean them, because don't clean them at all. Wash them off with water, just kind of spritz them. Yeah, but back to the detectors, I have one guy, he just scratches the surface because he has a bad back. And so he doesn't bend over a lot, and he doesn't get down on his knees. At my age, I get down on my knees every time I dig a hole here. Every coin you see, I dug a hole. Every piece of trash, I dug a hole. When I went to the beach on Monday, I used a shovel. I forgot my scoop. I got in such a hurry. I pulled it in the night before to tighten up the nut on it so it wouldn't wiggle around, and I just didn't put it back in the car. One of my more stupid misadventures, but you know, but I have no qualms about getting down on the ground and digging. Some people do. Now, Danny, let's keep it clean now. But I got to be a family channel, so you know I want to steer clear of that. Okay, but anyway, and I met a couple of detectors that were just getting back into detecting. They'd been detecting for a while, but the father had been sick, so they hadn't done it in a while. And they came into one of the parks that I was hunting in, and they dug maybe 10 holes, you know, plugs. They did 10 plugs, and then they left. And they were real cool. They covered up their plugs and made them nice and neat. But I probably dug 50 plugs in that park. And so a lot of people don't over dig places. I can go back to the same park. This stuff right here, I've been going to this park at least twice a month. I think once a month minimum. And I got those 2 pieces of jewelry. I got a little screwdriver. I got a vice grip and some change. Nothing's ever dug out, right? Nothing's ever cleaned out. So you can go back, and that's the miraculous. You don't have to, that's okay, Danny. You didn't have to retract it, but Crossic TV, hi. Yeah, I don't get very many fresh drops, so all of this stuff mainly dug, except this that Getting Around to It found was on top of the ground. That's cool when you can find something on top of the ground. But I go over at this park that I went to yesterday all the time because they throw big parties over there. It's a park where lots of people come and throw birthday parties and stuff. And I always expect to find surface finds, topical stuff. But nope, I still find it in the ground. I don't, I don't want you to feel like I yelled at you. I really don't. Excuse me. Yeah, but the surface finds are mostly plastic stuff. And got lots of surface finds at the beach. Got lots of plastic stuff over there, but all of this stuff was all dug. And but it's all fun. It's all a blast. But I try to get shorts of everything, or if I have a long video, I try to make a short in the video to give people an idea of what I dig without having to watch a whole long video. But now I'm wanting everybody to watch my longer videos because I got my 1,000 subs and I got, over 600 watch hours. I want to get to that 1,000 as quick as I can by the end of the year at least. I hope. Looter 8 just became monetized not too long ago. That's really cool. It seems that the people that I've been watching since I started this, like Monterey Magnet Man, once he got to his 4,000 watch hours, it just escalated from there, and he went from 1,000 subs to 4,000 subs almost overnight. It's kind of scary. But I thought, well, I can do this in a couple of years. But I got to my 1,000 subs and started in May. So in 7 months, I got to 1,000 subs. So I was really ecstatic over that. You guys are great. You guys are swell. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. And talking with me. The lives are starting to go pretty good. I was really impressed with the people that came and hung out with me on Monday morning, and I want to do a lot more of that, live digs and stuff. But today's raining and I didn't want to get out and get wet, so I figured I'd do this and see if I can accumulate some watch hours and entertain and chat with you all. It's always nice to talk to you guys, answer questions, ask questions. I'm going to put all my jewelry over in one pile here where people can see the jewelry, because they're always asking about jewelry. It's not something I have to have, because I can have just as much fun not getting jewelry. But I do get that thing. I mean, it's always there. Got to get the gold, got to get the silver. That you're looking for that. But I just get a signal and I say, got to dig that out. Got to get it. And it really irritates me. Like at the beach, I was digging in the wet sand, and with that shovel one-handed, I couldn't get a couple of the signals out. And I just know they were something good down there, but I couldn't dig deep enough with that shovel. And it kept caving in on me, so I didn't have my scoop to get the bigger chunks of sand out faster, so it just kept falling in, and I almost wore myself out digging 2 or 3 holes. Rendering so much? What are you rendering? There's something I found, and I thought, that's weird. And I guess they dropped this because they were redoing a PVC sprinkler system. I thought, that looks like a sprinkler head, but it's too small for a sprinkler head. Look how small that is. That's just not too much bigger than that leash clip there. Yeah, but it is a sprinkler head, and I found a new path of sprinklers in the park yesterday. That's weird. This was just laying on top of the ground, so that was a weird one. I like finding tools. Found a little screwdriver that's along with the vice grips. Tools are always good for me. See if I found anything else interesting here in my treasure trash. These I like to get out. The nails that are in the parks. The kids are running around barefoot in that grass thinking it's safe. Oh, is that what you're doing? Are you clocking? Is that what it is? You're losing the signal? I'm waiting for a company to loan me one. That sounds silly. I'm waiting for a company to say, hey, would you try this out and tell us what you think of it? I'm waiting till where I get popular enough to do that, if ever. I know there's a couple of guys out there that have been around for years, and companies send them equipment to test. That'd be nice just to get one little piece of equipment to test sometime. Yeah, I've got a Legend. I bought it in August. I was going to the beach and going to camp for a week at the beach, and I wanted something I wasn't afraid to get wet. My whites, it couldn't get it wet. If I would have fallen down with my whites in the surf, it would have been destroyed. So uh, we we took a chance and got a Legend, and I'm not sorry that I did, because I love it, you know. Yeah, I was a little irritated at it yesterday, though. I put the 11-inch coil back on, and the standard coil, and I've been using that 6-inch sniper, and that 6-inch sniper, uh, you can really pinpoint something. You get on top of something, and you find it, and you know exactly where it's at, not more than a couple inches off or so. And with that big 11-inch coil, I couldn't pinpoint anything. I was like way off, sometimes as much as 3 or 4 inches off my digs, because it was pulling a little deeper than my pinpointer would help me pinpoint on the surface. So, and I would pinpoint, even using the pinpointer option on the Legend, I just could not get on top of that all the time, and that was bugging me. But other than that, I was still finding the targets. Targets were there, and I was getting them. So, that's all it counts to me, really. But it does help if you don't have to dig so much. If you're right on top of it and you can get it out in the first plug, that's really a lot better. So my thought is, and I have the consent of getting around to it. When I'm ready, we might get the new 6x9-inch oblique coil for it and see how that goes. Yeah, I like the smaller coils too. A lot of people say, well, you can't cover as much ground as fast. But I don't need to go that fast. I cover a lot of ground. And I figure if I miss it the first time through, I'll be back. But I do like, because I'm on my knees digging a lot, I like to be able to dig a smaller hole and be more precise. How can I keep this up? Thought I missed something Pigeon said, but I'm using my iPad for the first time, and the chat doesn't stay up. And I wonder, I'm going to find an easier way to do this. Yeah, it doesn't stay up. I've got to bring it up. So, yeah, I have no trouble filling the bag, Denny. I can fill up a bag. Sometimes I have to dump my bag once or twice before I'm finished digging. And I post on this site, Crappy Finds. Just I will take a picture of this and post it on Crappy Finds, and inevitably there's somebody on there that will say, you might not get the real good prizes, but you are king of the crap. And I said, yeah, I can get a lot of that, but I get a lot of the other stuff too. And, whoops, I just shut you guys down. This is an older iPad that I was gifted, so the case is a little worn out, so the stand falls if I hit it too hard. What did you say, pigeon? Listen. Yeah, you know what? I don't have anybody say anything to me, really. Not. I think I had one person make a derogatory remark about me having I have a pick that is like a claw on one side and a hoe on the other side, and it's real narrow. But I laid it down on the ground in the tot lot, and some people brought their kids over there while I was in there, and I don't let it bother me. I try to stay away from the kids as much as possible. But she said something about that being dangerous and stuff, and I didn't get to talk to her, but I would have explained to her that I would never let a kid have it, you know, never. Yeah, I've got the Knock the Digger too now, but I was using a Bowie knife for a while. I didn't have a digger, and the Bowie knife was working great. Then I thought, well, you know, I should get a digger because maybe some people wouldn't like me, you know, wielding a Bowie knife out there. But I'm surprised at how many people thank me once they find out what I'm getting out of the tot lots, the nails and the screws. And I mean, you go into a tot lot, this is mostly from tot lots, one tot lot. These nails all in here, that's all out of one tot lot. So you get stuff like that out. You stick, I have a magnet on the end of my pick, and I stick that down in my bag and I pull out all these nails, and people just really go just, what? You got that out of here? And then when I'm detecting around, I'll find a nail, I'll pull it out and I'll show them. And they were letting their kids run barefoot in the park. So I get more grandparents and more parents thanking me for being there and doing that and getting the dangerous things out, saving the tetanus shots and stuff. And yeah, you found a open buck knife. All right, good find. I found a knife, but it's not a buck knife. But I think it was a stolen knife. It's got a 4.5-inch blade and nice leather sheath. I found it buried in the horseshoe pit, and that was pretty cool. I found a pocket knife that was all deteriorated, but I know some of the magnet fishers, they find some really good knives that fall off boats and stuff. I want to thank all of you for coming in, Danny and Pigeon, and hanging with me for a while. I need those watch hours, and it's really nice of you to hang out with me. 12-inch. Somebody was carving their turkey in there, huh? This is not the weapon we were looking for. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I want to show you that knife. Just because I got it close by. Oh, I know. Okay, I'm back. But okay, here's. Can I get that in there? But it was buried with the handle in the was buried like this in the horseshoe pit and all rusted up and everything, but the handle was in perfect condition and it still had the price tag on it. So that's how I know that they probably stole it and hid it there in the horseshoe pit to come back and get it later, but forgot about it, or they got caught and detained, and so that was a pretty interesting find. No, it wasn't that clean. It was covered in dirt, and I mean, just crusty, and the blade was all rusted. And since it's not a coin or anything, I used a wire brush on it and some saddle soap on the leather, so it revived the leather a little bit. And just look up crappy metal detecting finds, and it's one of my favorite sites to just post the garbage and the treasure trash that I get. And there's a lot of people. There's it's on Facebook, and I frequent metal detecting finds, and that's a worldwide thing. And I converse with metal detectors around the world: Russia, Australia, England, and one in Korea. And then there's crappy finds, and then there's hey junk, and there's metal detecting SoCal, so Southern California. So I like those three forums on Facebook to show off my junk, my treasure trash, because you know, if you guys really look up my site, I haven't posted a lot of really elegant things except for that a couple of gold things like that little E there, but I mostly post shorts of the trash that I find, the treasure trash, because hey, crazy clown, all right, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm sorry, I haven't been, I've been so busy with my own stuff, I haven't gone to see your site not recently, and I apologize. You know, but thanks for coming in. But anyway, I am really flabbergasted at how people like to look at the washers and the nails and the pieces of wire and the tent stakes and anything that I find. I get more views on a rusty old washer than I get on a gold ring. You know, so so I'm just, that's what I am. I'm the treasure trash man. I don't mind showing you treasure trash at all, and everything. Like I said, it's a surprise to me when it comes out of the ground until I see it. And once I get a signal, I have to see what it is. There's nothing there that I'm not interested in seeing. And I found some pretty weird stuff. You don't subscribe to Facebook? Yeah, I know. I was never a real fan of Facebook, but when I got into metal detecting, I had some intention to help spread my YouTube site there. So I've met a lot of cool people around the world from the metal detecting forums. But thanks again, everybody, for coming and hanging out. Well, you know, I am on Instagram, but and I think it's helped me some to be on Instagram and help me get some subscribers, because once I started on Instagram, uh, I started gathering more subscribers, and now that I'm up over 1,200 subscribers, I'm pretty thrilled. And now I'm concentrating. I was concentrating on getting subscribers, but now I don't have to concentrate on getting subscribers, because generally, if I post a short, I get one or two here and there. And I posted a short of a pair of eyeglasses we found on the beach, and that got me a couple subscribers. A tent stake got me a couple subscribers, and uh, what else did I? You found the honey hole. But yeah, that was that was fun. The honey holes are always fun. My honey hole was, I don't think you were talking about my honey hole. That honey hole I had posted about was tent stakes, crazy clown. You were talking about yours. I'm gonna have to go see yours now. Yeah, I got 2 subscribers for this spoon, the short on this spoon that I found. So just that makes me feel good that I can post treasure trash, and people will come and look at it and say, I want to see more of that. I'm just really thrilled about that. I'm thrilled about you guys coming and hanging out with me now. I just decided to do this morning instead of making a wrap up video and posting it. I thought, well, I'd just see if I can get one or two people to come and chat with me and see what happens. Stickman, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. So one thing it's teaching me is that, once you get to a certain point and people are looking for one specific thing that you've got, then you build it and they will come, right? That's a bad quote. But anyway, that's some of the things that I'm looking at all the time. And I just sit here and think, what am I going to do with some of this stuff? There's lots of stuff like I found, where's it at here? Yeah, I found this, and it's in my live. This is just a piece of aluminum can that's all deteriorated and eaten up by the salt and everything. But that looks like a dragon to me. So I see things. I could make a pendant out of that. I could clean the paint off of it and shine it up and hang it from a chain, and there'd be a pendant. Well, thanks, Stickman. Appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. There you go. You put it that way, and it's like a scorpion, huh? It's like a cloud, right? If you look at it and you don't see anything except a chunk of corroded metal, then you have no imagination. Sorry. Thanks for coming, Junk. Literate. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your live yesterday. I would have liked to get in on that duck race, but for some reason I was doing something else and I didn't notice your live. I'm sorry. And I would have liked to get in on that race. I could have dug on one of those toonies. So hope everybody can hear me all right. I noticed that crazy clown asked, cat got your tongue. My tongue generally wags all the time. I don't know if you're not hearing me. But anyway, appreciate you guys coming in. I know you're going to do the Sunday. I'm going to try and be there. You're going to do it after the race is over for coining around. So I try and switch on over to be with you on Sunday night. Tomorrow, that's cool. Tomorrow it's probably going to be raining here, so I got all the time in the world. If I can sit here and talk, I can be on yours and talk. Except I have to type it in, which takes me a little longer to say something. I'm not sure I'm liking this iPad, though. I keep having to bring up the chat, and I can't see what you guys are saying right away. And it won't stay long enough for me to see. What's that? Oh yeah, you better pick her up from work. Get gone. you, maybe I'll be here when you get back. Peace. Take care, Danny boy. Well, some people are a lot closer to you than that. You know what? I find that people are just as close as the apparatus that you're using. So, if you're using a phone or an iPad, people in London are just as close to you as people in Los Angeles or San Diego. But I'm running out of things to talk about. Some of you that just came in, I'm going to show you what we've been talking about. This is my treasure trash. This is from Thursday and Friday last week at two different parks together. This is from the beach Monday. And this is all the more of the treasure than trash. Some of it's trash, but I got some of it out here just because I want you to see I'm not missing any little thing, because these things are teeny little pieces that I'm digging out. And so since I dig everything, they're the smaller the better. I mean, it's easy to get a washer this size, right? But it's a little harder to get a nail this size. So all of this in the center is my jewelry for the oops, don't want to get that in the trash because that's a piece of jewelry. It's not gold or anything, but anyway, I got this yesterday for you, those of you that just came in. My 14th ring. It's nothing special. It's just $20 ring. And this I thought was really cool though, because of what it is. It's a Gothic Dolls Kill darkness waves. Yeah, darkness waves pendant. So we did some research on it, and I guess Dolls Kill was a Gothic clothing and jewelry store that was declared back in 2014 one of the fastest growing companies. So a lot of people were into that stuff back then, I guess. But now they're being looked into for unsportsmanlike activities in their business. But and some of you that were here saw this on my live on Monday. Getting around to it is my eagle eye. She found 14 karat gold, 11 diamonds, all tested out real. So that's this is my gold that I dug up. It's 10 karat gold plated, and this was 2 foot from the dig of another detector. So people don't get everything. So Oh, thanks for coming in, Crazy Clown. Sorry you got to go so soon, but thank you for stopping by. Hope you can give me a like or a dislike on your way out. And so far I got 14 thumbs up, it looks like. I really appreciate you guys coming in and giving me some watch hours. Every minute counts, right? So you take care, Crazy Clown, and peace. So one of the things I'm going to have to do is figure out something to talk about, unless somebody wants to know something about what I dug up. I can talk for a little while, and if I've got something in front of me, and then I got to go over it again. Looks like what? Let's see. Looks like it goes on nitrous fuel gas line. Yeah, you know what? It does look like a nut. It looks like a thumb nut, when the screw on, but there's no threads. That's a ring. And I looked it up, and there's several different styles of it, and they sell for about $20 a piece. And definitely a ring, not a nut. No threads, all molded smooth for a finger. So, yeah, I'll count that as number 14. But I get the tiniest jewelry stuff. Here, this St. Benedict's medal. And it's really cool. It's got a picture. I don't know whether that's a real picture of a young girl. Maybe they put it on there and gave it to her as a gift from her, what do they call it? Quintessa. Anyway, okay, sick man. Thanks for popping in, and go buy something cool. You take care of yourself. Drive carefully. It's raining out there, so stay safe. Yeah, that's what gave it away for me. Definitely has a comfort curve. Yeah, I don't think for a man. Boy, yeah, a smaller boy. That's my little finger. So, uh, yeah, I think it must have been a kid's ring. Some of the girls, they wear more masculine stuff like that too. So it could have been for a girl. Later, Steak Man. Yeah, but it did look like a nut, doesn't it? It looks like a finger nut, or you can twist it, but definitely not. And I was happy because I was stuck on 13. 13 is my lucky number, but I really like the number 13. Since I was a kid, 13 was, I mean, on the 13th, good things happened to me. My mom and dad were married on the 13th, so Friday the 13th was a big day. Every Friday the 13th in June. Every time it came up. And but I needed to break away from that because it had been a couple weeks since I found a ring, and so I was happy to find that one, even though it's an alloy ring. And, but I did pretty good this past week on jewelry. I mean, I got this and this and that, and this piece of jewelry. This has, I showed you that before. It has a set in it, so there's at least 2 stones were in that at one time in that piece. So, and then I hadn't. Well, I have gotten, but nothing that I could really brag about. I found a bangle bracelet 2 weeks ago that was gold and silver, and the silver tested out and the gold tested out, but it's not marked in any way. It's just it's almost a wire bracelet, you know, so a bangle, and but it was gold and silver when I tested it, and so that broke my gold. I was skunked from the beginning of the year until now for gold. Lots of goldies, but no gold. And now I've gotten a few pieces of gold, so that makes me feel better as a detectorist. But like I said, all this junk, all this treasure trash makes me feel good that it's going someplace else. Like a lot of this is going to scrap. A lot of this is going to be melted down. I'm going to build, when the weather breaks a little bit here, gets a little warmer, probably sometime in May or June, I'm going to build a foundry. I'm going to build a forge and a foundry, and I'm going to melt my aluminum, and I'm going to melt my copper, and I'm going to melt my brass, and I'm going to melt my lead, and I'm going to make little ingots, and maybe I'll even get into pouring oh, cool. So they got Friday the 13th too. That, that was always a good date for me, but it's not a good number when you're stuck on it. So now I'm at 14. Now I can move on. For some reason, it was my fate to be stuck on 13 rings. They don't have to be gold or silver for me. A ring is a ring is a ring is a ring is a ring, right? And I like bracelets too. I've only found a couple bracelets this year, but when I first started out last year, I found bracelets everywhere. Everywhere I went, I'd find a bracelet, either a cheap charm bracelet or a chain, or I found gold, I found silver, I found charm bracelets, I found bangles. Yeah, I will. I look forward to that too. My son built his own foundry, and he's melting aluminum and stuff, and so he's a little bit younger than I am, so I can do just as good as my son can do, right? I can build one. I was looking at YouTube, and it's really easy. I got a 5-gallon metal bucket, and I've got plaster of Paris. So, and all I need is the coffer and the ladle and the molds. For ingots, I've probably got something cast iron around here that I can use for ingots, little disc biscuits or something, you know. But I think the molds, cast iron molds, are pretty easy to get. I think I have one around here someplace that shaped like little ears of corn. So if I can find that, I might use that. So looking for something interesting here that will interest you. Yeah, most of it's just, this is something I couldn't figure out what it is. I found it beach, we found it, but it's can't see what it is. I'm not sure what it is. It's sticky, like it was stuck to something on that side. You see the stickum? Looks like might have been off a surfboard, maybe a foot block, so the person would know where to put their foot. I don't know. Interesting. See, just stuff like that. What is it? I've never seen before, and I've been alive more than 70 years, so I've seen a lot of things, but there are so many things that I haven't seen that I find that I want to know what they are. So if you know, let me know. If any of you know. I know what this is. This is the foot off of Easy Up, and that's for sand. So I knew what that was. That was easy enough. And of course, we know what these are, right? That was on the beach, and why that still has the bolt on it and it's not on the bike, I don't know. But it has the nut on it, so somebody took it off, maybe replaced it with something else, and then just decided to throw it on the beach. And this is something that I'm curious about. I don't know what it is really. Looks like it had some kind of purpose, but I've never seen one before, so I don't know exactly what it is. It might be an O or you know, something decorative, but goes in my treasure trash now. What, this? Looks like a stanchion holder. Yeah, it kind of looks like something that would go on the canopy of a boat, yeah, to hold the canopy. But I've seen those on the Easy Ups, some of them for the sand Easy Ups, so it has a footprint so the leg doesn't go all the way into the sand. You know, how do I get this? Well, 90 minutes. I would have never guessed that I would be able to talk for 90 minutes here. You know, a couple of months ago, I was determining whether I would go live or not, what I was going to do next, and how I was going to get where I'm going. But it seems like everybody does better at getting their watch hours once they go live, because even if there's one or two or three of you out there watching, that accumulates. Like, there are 4 people watching right now. If all 4 people were watching for the whole 90 minutes, that's 4 times 90. So that adds up fairly quickly. Someone was doing the math for me and said that I needed 44.444 hours per day to reach 4,000 watch hours by the end of the year. So maybe I can speed that up a little bit by doing a marathon. I think somebody did a race recently, 79-hour duck race. They keep people. I don't think he kept people on for 79 hours, though. There's no way that somebody's going to stay on for 79 hours to watch you. I don't think I would. I know that I've stayed on quite a while. We've been watching people, and it's interesting enough to stay on for 7-8 hours sometimes when you got nothing better to do. You do something for somebody else, you know. But you get something out of it. You get enjoyment. You get entertainment. And, beats going out in the yard and pulling weeds. But that has to be done too, right? For a week? Really? It was Mike that did the 79 hours, wasn't it? Didn't he do a 79-hour race, and now he's doing a week? Yeah, YouTube requires 4,000 watch hours to be monetized and 1,000 subs. I got the 1,000 subs. Now I just need the 4,000. Well, I don't need 4,000. I need 3,470. And after today, maybe 3,465. Yeah, I don't know, I guess he's hoping that people will pop in and out while the race is running. That would help, I guess. But a week? I'd be afraid that my internet would go out. I'd be afraid my internet wouldn't last for a week. Now, can you run 2 races at a time? I guess if you're on StreamYard and Streamlabs. Let's see if I can get some of the junk out of here so you guys aren't just looking at junk. I'd turn the camera around and talk to you, but I think you'd rather look at this stuff on the table than mine. Yeah, I like these things. I get these. This one is a little corroded off the beach, but it'd probably still work. This one I'd have to jury rig, because it's brass and it didn't corrode. The little chrome cheapies will corrode, brass ones won't. But if I can't make this work on something, I will melt that down in a hot second, along with this brass key. Except I collect keys. That'll be hard to decide whether to keep the key or melt it down in the foundry. So when is it already started, that week-long duck race? Yeah, Pigeon, I set myself a goal to be done this year and be monetized this year, only because I did actually get the 1,000 subs, and I gain subs every day. I now have confidence that I can get to the 4,000 hours because I got to the 1,000 subs, and now I'm setting a goal to get monetized this year. I was in a 2-year hopeful, and I figured I'd give myself 2 years to do this. And one of the things I'd like for it to do is grow enough to make me enough money to be able to travel a little bit and go places and different places to metal detect, and be a little more interesting. I'm really happy that people find my treasure trash interesting, and but it does kind of shock me that they'd rather see the treasure trash than the jewelry and treasure that you might find. But I might have set myself a more stringent goal than I should have, but it started today. Well, that means I can't get into it, huh? I'd go and get into it if it's still open. I didn't. I don't wonder why I didn't get a notification that on Mike's thing, because I follow him. I'm subscribed to him. But, oh well. So I'm going to go. There he is. Week-long marathon. It's already started. $100 hours. Well, I go back and read the whole thing, but hey, John, what's the number one prize for the week-long marathon? Come up with a theme days to get your subscribers to watch Monday. Tuesday, treasure trash day, etc. That's cool. I like 1 ounce silvers. I like silver rounds. I like anything silver. I have to keep an eye on Mike. He's going outside the box. And that's a good idea, Pigeon. Thank you for suggesting that. A treasure trash day would be cool. I do a live once a week. Maybe I get some watch hours. I'm going to still put on the shorts. They don't give me very much watch time, but they do get me a lot of views. So 1,000 views for 15-second videos. I got anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 views on the norm. So let's see, I got what do I got here? Go back to yeah, my shorts that I just put on, 1, 2, 3 of them have gone up over 1,000. One's at 759, and the others are between 191 and the 759. So I have out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shorts I put on the last 2 days. I've got 0 there. At 4 there. At 3 there, that's 7. And let's see, 0 there. Let's see. 0 on the pendant. I got 2 there, so that's 9. So I got 9 subscribers out of 8 shorts. That's pretty good. That's 1 1/8 average subscribers. So if I do that on my shorts, then I'm hoping that when I do these live digs, people will go back and watch them and see what I've got here on the live dig I did Monday. 111 views. I don't know how many watch hours I've got on that live dig I did on Monday, because they don't count them up until 3 or 4 days, sometimes 5 days later. You get accumulation when they transfer them, and but right now I clear my throat here. Excuse me. They've transferred over, and I've got 658 Uh, so I've got a few more watch hours that they've transferred over, so 658, so I only have 3,442 to go. So if I can accumulate 100 a day, if I can get to where I can accumulate 100 watch hours a day, then I'll probably make it pretty easily by the end of the year, no problem, or before, before the end of the year. So let's see, you don't, what? Sorry, I was looking down. Don't get many notifications for shorts sometimes. Yeah, you have to go into the shorts feed to get the notifications for shorts. After it was made, what do you use to edit your videos? I just use, for the shorts, I use Studio. I just burn a short in Studio. I edit in After Effects. I put all my videos, when I shoot them from my GoPro camera, sometimes from my phone, I'll put them into a file, and I will use After Effects to put them together and maybe add a little effect or a layer of text or something to it. I'm going to start doing a little bit more, making my videos a little more interesting, maybe holding some interest or having people look for something, maybe an Easter egg or something of that nature, to give some people some incentive to keep watching, and instead of go in and say, well, that's interesting, but it's kind of ultra repetitive. So maybe I'll put at the beginning that look for this, and it could be anywhere from the beginning to the very end. So maybe that'll keep people in looking at. So I'm trying to keep them interested. I'm just working on being a more interesting person to have people watch me. I'm not used to being live. Being able to control what you say and what goes online is a little different than when you do a live. It's just out there. Well, 108 minutes and counting. Chew, my friend, how are you today? Thank you for coming in. So, Chew, if you just came in, if you want to know what something is, let me know and I'll share it with you. Yeah, I could take the most interesting shots, and I have to go back through everything. I'm having a little bit of a problem. I shoot so much material and put on videos, and I have a terabyte of storage on my computer, and that gets used up really fast. In the beginning, it was just short little clips and short little videos, 5, 10 minute, 3-minute videos and stuff. But now that I'm doing half hours and hours and the like, the gigabytes get eaten up really fast. So I have to move things. I've got a terabyte portable drive that I filled up from last year's hunt, and then now I started over this year, and I have about 300 gigabytes of free space out of a terabyte. So I have to figure it out, and now I'm deleting things that I don't really want to delete, but gotta gotta be able to get hard drives and stuff to store things on. But I could see myself using 5 terabytes of space a year easy if I was going to store things so that I could go back through things and do a collage, or I could go back through everything once a month and do a collage and then delete everything and not worry about anything but the collage, or you know. So I'm not familiar with an ASMR. What's that? This chat won't stay up. Stay. So, Chu, did you get in Mike Puccini's race too? I think I pronounced his name right. Panici. I didn't. Panici. Pernucci. Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to slaughter your name. Just in case you got on there and looked and watched. Sorry. Sleep videos? I guess I could put people to sleep. No, it's fun to do the races. I've won a few times. Sunday night, I won a prize on a race, and so it's fun to win. I liked doing my live and doing the races and the wheel spins for giving away things to the people that subscribe. I thought that was cool. I was able to give away a couple of nice things, and it made me feel good to give back something, since everybody has been so kind to me as to subscribe and support my efforts. So that's all what it's all about, is supporting each other's efforts, right? If you if you're going to be part of a community, and I belong to 3 different communities now, kind of, metal detecting, magnet fishing, and coin collecting, and coin roll hunting, and it all kind of works in together. We're all treasure hunters, right? And that's my go-to salutations, fellow metal detecting and treasure hunting addicts, because we're all treasure hunting addicts if we do metal detecting or magnet fishing or coin roll hunting. There are others too that I haven't got into. I don't seem to be able to get into other things. It was easy to fall into. Metal detecting is something that I always wanted to do. Magnet fishing is something that I've only attempted a couple times. I don't have a big magnet, so I'm not very apt at that. But I can get out there and metal detect with the best. I am enamored by what's in the dirt and in the water. And I think it's really cool that you can go out and find the things that can be found in a river or a lake, or, best I've done is find some lures and hooks, things with a magnet in a lake. But I don't have any running rivers around here to really go to like they do in the Midwest. Well, yeah, watch hours. That's the thing, to be monetized, and and get the people to support you and your channel so that you can do more. That's on my end of it. I would only want. I don't want to get rich by any means, but I'd like to have an income coming in from being able to entertain people, to be able to pay for the gas to go some places and get further away from home and go to more exotic places and different places that people would like to see. Uh, you can only go to the same parks and people be interested for so long. They're interested in what you're digging up, but it's not showing them any place different. The one time that I went someplace different, I didn't dig anything, and because I couldn't dig, the rangers wouldn't let me dig where the people congregated all the time. I could only dig on the trail, and the trail, I didn't want to dig the trail up because I didn't want people tripping in the holes if I left a soft spot, people hiking on a trail. So I was digging off the trail, and people only walked the trail. So it wasn't the best metal detecting thing, but I got a lot of shorts of some really relaxing park scenes, waterfalls and little lakes and birds and things like that. that people hadn't seen. They'd never been there. So they liked that. And that's what I want to do, is be able to go and do things like that to keep people interested in what I do. Yeah, I do junk. I watch Monday Digs and watch Digging on Monday nights generally. I didn't last night or last Monday night. Um, I got home from the beach and I went out. We left here at 5 o'clock in the morning, and by the time I got down to the beach and got all set up and everything, it was 7 o'clock. I dug all day until 3 o'clock, and then we drove home, and we were 2 hours on the road getting home because of the evening work traffic. And the day went a little longer than I thought, so it was a good 12. I got up at I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and when I got home at 5 o'clock, we ate dinner, and I went to sleep, and I didn't get to see Monday Night Digs or Digging on Monday night. Those are the things I watch. I like to watch Juice and uh, all the ones that are on. See, Hot Mess, and my brain is just drawn to Hunting Southwest Ohio, and Tampa Bay maybe on there. I can't remember right now who all gets on Monday Night Digs, but oh, thanks, Pigeon. Yeah, I liked that too. I would just wish I could have found something in the digs, but didn't have anything to show. Really? That's what got you interested in my channel? Well, I'm going to try to do a little bit more of that. I try to show the scenery where I'm at. You know, it's fun to be there, and one of the things about being there is to have people want to be there with you, right? So I try to do that, and I'm going to try and do more of it. But I get so tied up in digging. I get that metal detector going, and I forget to, show people things, but I try to get some in, and I try to get a piece of scenery in every video I do. Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is have it pay enough for itself. Yeah, B. Higgles is one of my first people that I subbed to and started watching. I've been subbed to him for a long time. Blind Treasure Hunter. I haven't heard from him in a little while, but watched him also. I haven't watched, to be honest, I've only caught a couple of the Monday Night Digs in the last month. I've been so enthralled with what I'm doing and trying to get to 1,000 subs that I I was being real self-centered, but I'm going to try and watch more as I go along. There's others too. I'm subscribed to so many people. There's uh, Michael Oliver. I like to watch him. I like to watch Nora Sadet. I like to watch Treasure Outdoors. Austin's pretty cool. He does some really cool hunts. And um, there's a guy local to me that Robert Ferguson. I watch him, and Fun with Jim. There's so many. It's hard to watch all of them. You know what I mean? But one of my favorites too is Monterey Magnet Man. If you've never watched him, watch him. If you haven't gone to any of these people that I've talked to, any one of them, go and check them out because they've got some really cool videos out there. Monterey Magnet Man, really funny. I started watching him when he was magnet fishing all the time, and then he got interested in metal detecting because he started watching the metal detectors that were watching him, and now he's got a legend, and he's out there on the beaches in Monterey and Santa Cruz, and he does really cool. He and I tried to get on Monday Night Digs one time, and they said they were full, and put me on the list to put my videos on Monday Night Digs, but nothing really came of it. Nobody's fault. I didn't pursue it, and I probably should have. But it seems like they're always full. They've got a full roster, so it's really, like I say, there's hundreds, so it's easy for them to get somebody to be on Monday Night Digs. There's Friday Night Digs also. That's Monday Digs and Friday Night Digs. And really, right here in this park that I got this junk from, this treasure trash, I found Chinese coins that were authenticated by a coin collector online, and he just took pictures, my pictures that I put on, and authenticated the coins, and said they dated from 1640 to 1722, which I thought was pretty cool. I found two old coins that were way older than me. It is fun to find the older stuff. I'd love to be in a place where I could find relics, not just treasure trash. Because and it's really exciting to find something, of intrinsic value, but it doesn't seem to bother me that it's a bottle cap. Or what I call, everybody calls pull tabs, and I call them could be's, because every time you get a signal of one of those, it could be anything. It could be a gold ring. It could be an earring. It could be a necklace. It could be anything that gives off the same signal. And one of these could be anything. It could be a zinc. It could be a piece of gold. It could be a silver. Sometimes this rings out just like silver. So you just don't know. If you don't dig it up, how are you going to find out? That's the way I look at it. Look at this. What is this? This is a taco packet, right? That rings up like silver. That's right. You'd be right, Junk. You couldn't pass up any signal because everything. I mean, this aluminum bottle cap that rings up just like a dime or a copper penny. A copper penny and a dime will ring up 45 to 46, 44, 46, and so will this. So, things that you want to always look for. I mean, this is a piece of a belt buckle, and I thought for sure that that was a ring, a piece of jewelry when it rang up. But not so. Lots of things that will give you signals that you, if you don't know what it is, a piece of an antenna. There's a piece of antenna off of a radio that sounds just like silver. So you think, oh, I've got a piece of silver. Nope, you got a piece of treasure trash. But there's so many things that just piques my curiosity. What is in the dirt? I think somebody's got to name their channel that What's in the Dirt. I think somebody has already nabbed that one. But I'm not going to change my channel name. I like it. Thanks for the thumbs up, Chew. Yeah, these trinkets here, they were all fun to find surface finds. I showed this to Pigeon early on, that this is a surface find, and it's one of the robots from Toy Story, the new Toy Story, and the one Buzz Lightyear, not Toy Story, I'm sorry, Buzz Lightyear. It says Toy Story on it, but it's actually Buzz Lightyear, one of his enemies. So those things are neat to find. I'm a toy collector. If kids lose their toys, I figure they didn't like them well enough to keep them, so they're mine now. And I got a pile of toys. I've got to really get organized because I went into this not planning it at all, but I have a defect in my personality. I'm an eclectic person. I collect anything and everything, and it's really pathetic how much of this junk that I find in my treasure trash, I find that I keep, it never hits the trash. It goes into a bin someplace, and so then I'll find a use for that, or I'll give it to somebody, or I'll do something with it. But I'm flawed in that way. Well, I hope so, John. You got my email? Yeah, I figured it's about time you should be getting it. That's why I asked. I hadn't heard from anybody that won on my live, so I sent everybody an email asking them if they'd gotten the mail yet. Because for one thing, I want to know how long it takes to get there for next time. But another thing is I want to make sure that it gets there, because there's so many people out there that works in the post office that are dishonest people, And I've been really lucky. I have not been missing anything that I won that was mailed to me, but I want to make sure that people get what I mail, because I spent extra money so that they weren't run through the machines, so the mail will get there unabashed, and unbashed, not unabashed. And so oh, cool. That'd be cool. Let's see. Where am I here? Yeah, you got the quarter, huh? Yeah, Pigeon. I don't discriminate. I set my legend to get iron and everything. I don't discriminate anything. I don't use the frequencies that will block um, anything. It doesn't make sense to me, but you know, I haven't found anything that's on this table. Nothing that is standard. Every one of those bottle caps hits a different tone, a different VIN number, and the aluminum foil hits in a range to where if I pass up aluminum foil, I could be passing up this right here, because aluminum foil rings as low as a 9 on my legend and as high as a 20. So it goes as low as a 9. This is a 10. This hit a 10. And you know what? It hits non-ferrous, and aluminum foil will hit a 10 non-ferrous. So if I pay attention to my vid screen, the tones are a little different, but if I'm looking at the numbers, I can leave that in the ground if I discriminate against foil. If I block foil, if I block iron, iron comes in. That's a 10. Like almost every one of those tent stakes ring up a 10 in that arena, 9 to 12. So if I discriminate anything, like I said, I'm a strange personality. I would rather dig and find a tent stake or a bottle cap and not, or a piece of foil. You see here, I've got lots of foil in there, lots of aluminum in here, and that's because I don't want to miss this stuff. And if I do, if I, don't dig that because I think it's foil, or if I discriminate against it and it rings the same as foil, I missed it. You know what I mean? So I fooled with the uh, the chance of discriminating or blocking out metals, you know, iron and stuff. But one of the reasons I'm out there is to find the gold and silver that people drop and mislay. But if I discriminate against any of the metals, then I'm passing it up because everything rings different. A silver ring will ring different than a silver bracelet. A silver coin rings different. And they all come in really close. My ears aren't good enough to really distinguish the tones. I can tell a grunt from a tone, no doubt, but sometimes the tones will sound the same to me. Like for a copper penny and a dime, the tone sounds exactly the same until I dig it. I don't know what it is. But like a nickel's a 26, and a lot of these could be's come in at 26. So I don't know whether it's going to be a could be or a nickel. And a lot of the could be's like this one, it comes in at like a 51, like silver, you know? So, or a quarter. 51 could be a quarter, or it could be silver. So it's nice to have a machine that is capable of doing things. Yeah, you're right. Now I'm glad, Junk, that you're going to put that in your quarter tube. I know it's not pretty enough to, be on the outside in a book or anything, but it's silver. It's still silver, right? You know, there again, Pigeon, if you filter out the iron, how many relics do you know that are iron? If you go into an area where there were a lot of pioneers one time, you might miss an axe head or a knife or a gun barrel. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just have, I'm peculiar. Uh, there are some people out there that uh, just want to know that it's gold or it's silver and they don't want to find anything else. There's one guy, I can't remember his real channel name or anything, but they call him the Silver King. And they say there's no more silver coins in this area around here because of him. When I first started metal detecting, somebody told me that they said Silver King has emptied the area of silver coins. But I know people have found silver coins since then, and I'm still looking to find a silver coin, and I'll find one because I find coins. Oh, that's another nickel. I had that in the pennies. I had that in with the pennies because it was so crusty and everything, but it's a nickel. I got to put that over with the nickels. So, well, I'm heading up. Can I keep y'all interested for another, all four of you interested for another 15 minutes? And, have been on for 2 hours and probably have held you long enough. And I appreciate more than you know you being here talking to me and keeping my chat alive. Yeah, there's a lot on this table that could have been left in the ground, that's for sure. And somebody that was just looking for silver and gold and trying to pick out those signals would have left a lot of it in the ground. But then I wouldn't have dug this, wouldn't have found that because that was an iron. And I wouldn't have dug that because that was a high pitched sound like a lead sinker. And that could have been gold. And so many other things here. This I was hoping was silver, but that sounded like a nail. It gave me a grunt like a nail because it's probably steel. This little thing didn't give me a good signal at all. It just gave me a chirp and chatter. So if I didn't look to see what it was, I do 95% of my hunting in parks, pigeon. That's where I get most of my stuff is in parks. I get to the beach once in a while. I'm going to try and get to the beach more, but I want to get to the desert. I want to get to some old place where somebody camped out in the desert and just stopped in the desert. I want to find that place that nobody's ever been, or people have been there and they didn't know what they were looking at. I wouldn't even mind doing a ghost town here and there. Those are exciting. Yeah, I found some silver rings like that. Just little filigree looking things, black, but they're silver. Yep, I love finding those things. I found quite a few just uh, treasure trash rings and earrings, and every once in a while I get lucky and I find some gold or silver. But you know, yeah, mainly kids don't wear gold and silver, so when you go to a park, you really shouldn't expect to find gold every time. And I found my best gold ring in a park tot lot one time, but I know that it was an adult that dropped it there, and it wasn't a kid, because it fit me. And but most people in parks realize that they've lost something because they miss it. But people who go to beaches and stuff, they don't realize they've lost it until it's too late because it gets dropped in the sand or in the water and it's gone for until a metal detector comes along to find it, right? I've dropped things in the sand that I found and had to re-detect it because it just disappears. You don't see it. You drop it on the surface of the sand, it sinks right in. It's gone. Gone. You have to get the detector over there. Huh. 150. That's not an hour and 51 minutes. What is that? I've been holding y'all here for 2.5 hours. I'm looking at 151 minutes, thinking it's an hour and 51 minutes. But 100 minutes is not an hour, is it? I'm sorry. I probably should go ahead and sign off. It's been over 2.5 hours, and I've got at least 6 hours of watch time from you guys, and that's much appreciated. Thank you for taking your time, Junk, and being with me. And Pigeon, I know you had other things you planned to do, and you've been chatting it up here. Thank you so much for sticking around. And I know there's a couple of people on here watching that haven't said anything in a long while or ever. So, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. And I know you guys have already subscribed to me. And I want you to know every minute you spend watching my videos or spending with me chatting like this is God sent and appreciated. So until the next time, God bless you, and you guys take care and hunt well and stay well, okay? If I had some music, I'd play it on the way out. Peace. Goodbye, Pigeon. Goodbye, Junk. Goodbye, Character Alley. Goodbye, getting around to it. Bye-bye.